Good morning, scholars and families. Welcome back to another day of guided reading on YouTube. Yay, so exciting. Before we begin today, I want to remind you of a couple things. You're having lunch bunch this week with some teachers if you are getting all of your work done every single day. And we are having a Zoom party for first grade tomorrow. We're going to talk more about our Zoom party at the end of the video because I want to make sure you're watching the whole entire video with me today. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with some shout outs. First, I would like to shout out these first grade scholars. Sean Andrews, shout out to Rashawn, shout out to Kaden Patterson, shout out to Ella, shout out to Alana Bishop, and shout out to Kamaya Moore. A couple specific shout outs. These are all kids that your teachers have said have been working extremely hard on the guided reading videos. Nice job. Kamaya Moore, Miss Turney told me that she read a whole book yesterday with Miss Turney over the phone and had no mistakes and was doing such a good job figuring out her words and reading through the words. Beautiful job. Ella Ellison has done a great job with her reading and making sure that she's doing her online work. Great job. Alana Bishop, I see you commenting on all of the videos when your work is done. I'm so proud of you, Miss Alana. Kaden Patterson, you are always the first person that's commenting on the videos. That means I know that you are waking up and getting ready to work. I'm so proud of you, Kaden. Rashawn, your minutes on Lexia and Zern and your YouTube videos have been incredible. Good job, Mr. Rashawn. And Sean Andrews, you are doing a really, really, really great job. I want you to keep watching these videos and do your work every single day. All right? Okay. Good job, my friends. I'm so proud of all these first graders. Friends, I didn't have any pictures of DePaul kids, but here's some UC kids for you to look at today. Also, shout out to Faith. So we have Faith, Rashawn, Alana. We have Kaden, Sean, and Imani. Shout out to all 6 of those UC scholars. And shout out to all of the DePaul scholars, especially the ones whose names are on the screen. I'm so proud when our friends work hard and keep working hard. Keep it up. You can do it. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with our strategy for today. Today, we're going to make inferences. We're going to make. And remember, when we make an inference, we're guessing. Because sometimes the author doesn't tell us everything about a story. So we need 2 things to make an inference. What 2 things do we need to make an inference? Say them out loud now. Good. We need text evidence and schema. We need text evidence and schema. And schema is what you know. Schema is. Yes, so we need our text evidence and our schema in order to make an inference or a guess about the text. Put your finger underneath the first words in our sentence stem. When a teacher is asking you a question where you have to make a guess, you're making an inference. You're making and when we make inferences, we use these sentence stems to help us. Oh, friends, you see my curtains blowing? It's windy today where I am. Hold on, friends, 1 second. Okay. So we're going to read our sentence stem together. So take your finger. We're reading our inferential sentence stem together on 2. 1, 2. In the story I read, ooh, good text evidence. So that makes me think, and then we make an inference. So let's do that again. In the story I read blank. So that makes me think blank. All right, I can't wait to hear our sentence stems being used today as we answer some inferential questions. We're also going to talk about character feelings. We're going to talk about, and remember, a character feeling is the way that a character feels inside because of something that happens in the story. So a character feels maybe proud or excited or sad or disappointed or confused or scared based on things that happen in the story. Now, all of the first grade scholars at Great Lakes Academy are professionals at adjectives. We know that feelings words are adjectives. Feelings words are, so all these words are adjectives. And today in our story, you are going to need to think of different feelings words that describe how the character is feeling in our book. Before we move on to our story, let's read our sentence stem that we can use to talk about character feelings. Put your finger underneath the first word. And here we go. In the story I read blank, so that makes me think blank. It's the same sentence stem as our inferential questions. Nice job. All right, let's go ahead and start practicing. Now today we have a book called When Bad Things Happen. And in this story, there's a boy and something sad happens to him with his pet iguana. And we're going to read to find out what bad thing happens to this boy with his iguana. But then, what does the boy do after something bad happens to him? So sometimes bad things happen to us and we shut down or we pout. But in this book, we're going to read to find out what this boy does after something bad happens to him. Let's go ahead and get started reading When Bad Things Happen. All right, friends, I want you to make sure that you are reading through the words. This book is almost a second grade level book, and so I want you to make sure that you are taking your time, touching every word with your finger, and reading through words that you do not know. Don't guess words. Don't make up words. I want you to read through the words. I want you to. All right, go ahead and pause your video and read through these pages now. Pause your video and read through the words on these pages now. Nice reading, friends. These pages have a lot of juicy words, so make sure you're taking your time. Friends, pause your video and read through these pages now. Nice job, friends. Pause your video and read through all of the pages on all of the words on these pages now. Nice job. Last two pages of our book. Friends, pause your video and read through these pages now. All right, excellent reading. Let's go ahead and practice answering some questions about when bad things happen. First question, why was it not a good day for our character? Why was it not a good day for our character? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that it was not a good day because his pet lizard died. So it was not a good day for our character because his pet unfortunately died. How does the boy feel about his pet lizard dying? How does he feel about his pet lizard dying? Go ahead and pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that the boy says, I don't understand why he died. I did everything right. So if you don't understand something, you might be what? Confused. You might be confused. You might be disappointed. So I'm using my schema to think if I don't understand something, I'm confused or disappointed. So listen to my answer. In the story, I read that the boy didn't understand why his lizard died. So that makes me think that the boy was disappointed or confused that his lizard died. If you said disappointed or confused, give yourself 2 claps and 2 more. If you said he was sad or upset, you are correct, but I need you to use more text evidence. Because on these pages, it doesn't say that he's sad. It says that he doesn't understand. So he might be sad, but make sure you're using your text evidence. Show me connection if you're with me. All right, let's go ahead and move on to the next page. Very nice job. What did the boy's dad say when he found out the lizard died? What did the boy's dad say? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that Dad said, sometimes bad things happen even when you do things right. So the dad said, even if you are giving your lizard water and food and love and playing with it, sometimes bad things happen, like it still dies. That's what Dad said. Next question is, what did the boy's mom say? What did the boy's mom say? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, this answer comes right from the text, my friends. In the story, I read that his mom said that he could do things like make a card and do other little things to make himself feel better. The mom suggested that he does something to make himself feel better. Let's go to the next question. What can people do when they lose a friend? What can people do when they lose a friend? I want you to look at your text evidence, pause your video, and read a question now, or answer that question now. In the story, I read that some people write letters when they lose a friend. And in this letter, they tell stories about why they miss the person that they lost. So when you lose a friend, you can write a letter to a friend or a card to a friend, just like the boy does. Good job. Let's go to the next page. What does the grandmother say that people do when they lose a friend? What does grandmother say? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that grandmother says that some people go to church or a place of worship if they are sad about losing someone? What does mom say that people do when they lose a friend? What does mom say? Pause your video and answer that question now. Mom, in this story, I read that some people light candles, some people pray, some people bring out flowers and put it next to a picture. That's what some people do when they lose a friend. If you've ever been to a graveyard or a cemetery, you might see a lot of flowers, a lot of candles, a lot of people praying. That's what people do when they lose a friend. It could be a person or an animal. People still can do those things when they lose someone that's special. Let's go ahead to the next page. What does Dad say that he should do to remember Lizzie? What did Dad say he should do to remember Lizzie? Pause your video and answer that question now. In this story, I read that Dad said, I should remember Lizzie so it will help me feel less sad. So Dad is telling the boy, think about the good things with your lizard so that it makes you less sad that he's not here. And Mom said, I'll feel better with lots and lots of time. My next question is this. Is it okay if the boy still feels sad about losing his lizard? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that Mom said, I might feel sad some days. So that makes me think, I'm using my schema, is it okay to feel sad some days? Yes. So in the story, I read that Mom said it's okay to feel sad some days. So that makes me think that the boy might feel sad, and it's okay if he still feels sad about losing his lizard. It's definitely okay. Is it okay for him to tantrum and kick and scream and cry about his lizard? No. Is it okay for him to write cards and take deep breaths and think about the good things? Yes, definitely. My next question is, what does the boy do to tell Izzy that he misses him? What does the boy do for the lizard? Pause your video and answer the question now. In the story, I read that the boy makes him a card and draws a heart and writes him a nice note. So in order to remember Izzy, the boy makes him a card and draws him some pictures. So kind. That's a really awesome thing to do. Even if there's someone that you love or you miss, you can always make people cards. People love cards. Let's go to the next page. What does the boy do in his backyard? What does the boy do in his backyard? Pause your video and answer the question now. In the story, I read that the boy chooses a special place to bury Lizzie. Yeah, he chooses a special place in his yard to bury Lizzie so we can always go and visit him. Really, really nice job. What did the boy put next to where he buried Izzy? What did the boy put next to where he buried Izzy? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that the boy put his favorite rock and his card next to where he buried Izzy. That's very thoughtful. That boy is being thoughtful or generous and trying to be very kind to his lizard Izzy. How does the boy feel at the end of the story? How does the boy feel at the end of the story? Pause your video and answer that question now. In the story, I read that the boy feels a little better, but will always miss Izzy. So the boy feels better, but he still misses his lizard, which is totally okay and normal, but he feels a little bit better, just like his mom and dad said he would. Nice job. Okay, my second grade question. Get ready. Here's my second grade question. What is something you can do if you lose a friend? What is something you can do if you lose a friend? Pause your video and answer that question now. Something that I would do if I lost a friend was I would maybe write about it in a journal. Maybe I could make a book about that friend or that animal that I lost. That is something that I could always look back on. I could write them a letter. I could draw them pictures. I could bring some flowers for them. There are lots of things that you can do if you lost a friend. Really, really nice job if you answered that question. Now remember, if you did lose a friend, it's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel upset. But remember that there are really nice things that you can do for yourself to make yourself feel better. Let's give yourselves 2 claps and 2 more. All right. Let's do a quick cheer. Miss Rossi wants to do a cheer. Let's do AWE. So it goes like this. I'm gonna show you and you're gonna do it with me. Go like this. AWESOME. Awesome, awesome, awesome are we. I think that's how it goes, friends. I might have made that up, but we're gonna try that one. Okay, ready? We're gonna do AWEs up. On 2, 1, 2. AWESOME. Awesome, awesome, awesome are we. Yeah, you are awesome. Nice job. All right, let's go to the last page. Oh my gosh, Miss Rossi, is it true? Are we having a first grade Zoom party tomorrow? Oh yeah, we are. So friends, I want you to look at this picture. Miss Rossi got to go to the second grade Zoom party this week, and it was so much fun. We did some Go Noodle dances. Scholars got to bring some toys to show and tell for their classmates. We all got to chat and hang out, and it was so much fun. So tomorrow, that means Thursday, because today is Wednesday. So tomorrow on Thursday at 4 o'clock, what time? At 4 o'clock, what time? 4 o'clock, all the first grade scholars are going to get on Zoom, and we're going to have a Zoom party. We're going to do some Go Noodle. We're going to do some show and tell. You're going to get to talk to your classmates and your teachers. And so I want you to make sure that if you don't have Zoom on your device or your computer or your phone, you can get it. It's an app, and it's really easy to get. So go ahead and get Zoom, and then the link is on our Google Classroom if you need to know what is our Zoom link, or you can text or call your teachers to get the link, okay? Now, don't forget, so tomorrow we're having our Zoom party. We can't wait to see you there. And then every week, teachers are doing lunch bunch. So if you haven't earned lunch bunch, make sure you're getting all of your work done so that you can enjoy a lunch bunch with your teachers. Okay? Friends, I'm so proud of your hard work. You guys are awesome. Keep it up, and we'll see you tomorrow for our Zoom party.